mouth-watering, medium rare ribeye with a side of crab meat and a bundle of hot tamales. KesslerPrime.com to make a reservation. ESPN 1059 The Zone. And you can pair it with award-winning Elijah Craig, old-fashioned. KesslerPrime.com. And don't forget that Briarwood Wine and Spirits has Elijah Craig and amazing wine and Tito's and all that. By the way, we saw Leslie, Nathan's better half, at Bravo yesterday, and she's the wine director. Okay. And she's amazing. Her palate, sommelier, all that. So it's good to see Leslie, and we were going back and forth on some fun vino. So are y'all requesting some of this?
Oh, look at that.
English peas and mayonnaise this weekend for a big Father's Day bash. You know? Yeah. That's beautiful.
It is Father's Day, so I mean, celebrating style.
Yeah.
It looks so fresh.
We still haven't. One of our listeners asked if we had, for the last time that you were at a stoplight too long,
right,
and got here late, we've got to figure out, what did we decided? Were we going to do some hot wings, or do we want to do that you have to like hammer as many donuts as you can in 2 minutes or less, or 90 seconds?
Yeah.
We made the mistake years ago. This was so dumb of me, you, and Blake.
Right.
That we asked you to eat donuts for a 9-minute segment. I mean, that's typical guy. What were we doing? Nobody does that. I mean, you're supposed to, 60 seconds, all you can eat, or 90, maybe 2 minutes. So we'll have to get some donuts. And you had milk last time. Do you want milk this time?
Yeah, see, I don't believe in eating them without milk.
Okay.
It's not right.
Okay.
The record.
Or do we get Joseph Stodgel to make wings?
See, I like that
Martins
too.
and Livingston has amazing wings. And then we put some hot sauce on there and see you sweat on the camera. Or do we do both? Not at the same time.
Can do both. Probably do both.
Okay.
I don't trust him. He'll tell me one of them's something, and then sure enough, it'll be my mouth will be on fire for like 3 days.
You remember when Kessler did the wings and you ate one of those?
Yeah, those were good. They were hot.
They had some kick in them.
They were hot.
Yeah.
Those were good.
Mm-hmm.
He
did them for the fantasy football draft. How about that?
They did kick.
They did?
Yes.
Yeah. I made sure I didn't get one of the super hot ones. We're on YouTube right now. You can watch us in your office. We're on YouTube. Search Out of Bounds Sports. And the YouTube channel is Out of Bounds Sports. Make us your office TV show. Say hello to you. Maybe do some giveaways through people who put us up on their TV.
Yeah.
In their office or lobby.
I like that.
I think we can do that. I think it's awesome. And why not? But we had heard from some people that you watch us at work, and because you've got your TV and you've got the YouTube app on your TV, you can just go to Out of Bounds Sports and do that. Yeah. So make us your office TV show. Jackson has totally revamped that page and continued to add to it. YouTube channel, Out of Bounds Sports. And we appreciate that. Now, a couple different ways that you can get in touch with us. The Golden Moon Casino text line is 601-885-3776. You can find us on X at Bo Bounds. Tweet to us at Bo Bounds. Brought to you by Rick's Pro Truck, spray and bed liners, lift kits, RPT. And then the Stella Artois caller line is 601-707-3750. I'm looking here at dads reveal what they actually want for Father's Day. All right. All right. I mean, surely number one is a Whiskey 61 trucker's hat.
That's right.
Or a Whiskey 61 rope hat.
Nice.
Which you can find at whiskey61.com.
Boom.
And, created out of our love for Highway 61 and all the coolness around that. Let's see. Number one is to be able to spend time with family and not be expected to go out to a meal with my in-laws. Okay, that was a quote for number one on here. What is this from?
I can't believe
Ask Reddit. Okay, so that's number one. Okay, number two is a day off.
Yeah, sure.
It's on Sunday. Most people are off.
Yeah, you're already off.
Even if you can't make that happen for his job, maybe swing it on another weekend day.
Yeah.
Okay. All right. Number three. You want to guess?
Serenity.
Okay. It's your big word this
My
week.
word this week.
What'd you say yesterday? Something about you were in serenity or
Yeah, I was probably searching for it.
Searching for serenity. All right, we are back in the saddle. Out of bounds, ESPN 105.9 The Zone. We were going over a cool list. Dads reveal what they actually want from Father's Day. Number three, Jackson was wrong on Serenity. They want to go to a baseball game, eat some hot dogs, and enjoy time with the kids away from screens. Okay, that makes sense.
Yeah.
And going to a baseball game is amazing. There's nothing like getting some peanuts and a Dr. Pepper or whatever it is you want, cold beer, boom. Number four, I'd love to go on a long hike with my kids. Maybe not here this time of year, but if you're in Colorado, northern Arkansas, North Carolina, I can dig that. But maybe if you go early in the morning, I don't know if your kids will get up at 6 a.m. Number five, I want to pack a cooler and go to the local park, set up a small grill, cook some burgers, drink a beer or two, hang out with my wife and daughter. I think I'd rather do that from the back porch. But, I mean, if you want to go to, I'm all for local parks, but not sure that would be number five on my list. Good morning. Welcome in. We're live in the Bank Plus studio. ESPN 105.9 The Zone, brought to you by the Wings at Martin's in Livingston. Tom Luganbill at 8:30 on the Farm Bureau Insurance guest line. Ooh.
What?
Yep. A little shaky today, but we're going to hang in there. You know what I'm saying? It's like riding a 4,000-pound bull, baby. We are the Out of Bounds Show, ESPN 105.9 The Zone. Here's to Mudbugs, Mudbugs, Mudbugs. Last weekend of the season. Let's rock and roll. Crawfish, shrimp, crab legs. Absolutely amazing. Go there, hang out with friends, or get a to-go order. Mudbugs Reservoir, Mudbugs Brandon. We're ESPN 105.9 The Zone. Bo, did you expect North Carolina and Oklahoma to be in the College World Series championship series? No, I didn't. But I'm not I'm not surprised because I know people are like, Oklahoma was 14-16 or whatever, 15-15. Look, when you're in our league, I've said this for years. I know y'all are tired of me saying it. When you're in the SEC and you can go 14 plus wins, it means you can win a regional, you can win a super regional, you can get hot in Omaha because we do 10 super regionals over the course of 3 months, as we talk about all the time, in the SEC. So, did I think Texas and or Georgia would come out of it? Yes. Am I shocked that Oklahoma was able to come out of that side of the bracket? Not really. I will say this is funny. Y'all have listened to me ramble, and I incorporate my life into the show, and my kids are, 1 grade apart, right? And so when you have kids that are, and some of y'all have 4 kids, even staggered, so y'all have all kinds of, y'all know 8 grades, but they all had crossover friends.
Yeah.
And so Brendan Brock, one of the stars for Oklahoma, was at our house last summer.
Nice. Because
Wilkes knows him. Good kid. And I didn't know who he was, and it was a big weekend. It may have been 4th of July, and we had 20-something kids out there or whatever, and they're wakeboarding and stuff like that. But Wilkes was like, this is Brendan Brock, and nice guy. And he was there for, 24 hours. And he's been on a heater.
Yeah.
Good Lord. So, and Oklahoma's on a heater, and kudos to them. It's been a good year for them.
It has.
They went to the college football playoff. I know they got smoked by Alabama at home, but they went. I didn't think that Venables would do that because I don't think he's that. I think he's a, solid coach. But, and I don't think they've addressed what they need to do on offense yet. But now Venables on defense, He is filthy, right? They were number 6 in defensive scoring efficiency, but they were 66th in offensive scoring efficiency, and Bama took advantage of that. Y'all remember Oklahoma was up and rolling for that, first quarter and a half, and then turn. But back to Oklahoma, and it's cool to see, Wilkes was all fired up the last couple of days texting me about Brendan. And I guess they're texting or whatever they do, Snapchat or something. But that's cool. Yeah, Oklahoma, North Carolina, it's still 2 big brands.
It is.
North Carolina's yet to punch their ticket. We mentioned them as one. Arkansas, great program. Florida State has had so much success the last 35-plus years. Clemson. But North Carolina's been good for a long time. And I talk about this all the time. I can remember 1989 and 2000. They eliminated Mississippi State, and that hurt. 89 especially. But and I think I've got those years right. In 03, you had Mahalam and as your ace. I still think he's your best pitcher of this century. And I know he didn't play unfortunately, on a College World Series team, but the young man was great. And you see this every now and then in Starkville and Oxford, but to be a true freshman and end up in the ace role and the Friday night role, think about how good you have to be. And McPherson was doing that. Yeah. Think about how good McPherson was for Mississippi State the first month of the season. That dude's young. Took the ball And he shoved out in Globe Life Field and several other appearances because Arizona State can, they're a pretty damn good team and they can hit. And he did that early in the year. And I was at that game. But back to North Carolina and Oklahoma in the National Championship Series and the CWS. Hey, there you go. North Carolina comes out. I mean, once Ole Miss was taken out, you felt good about North Carolina coming out of that bracket, even though Troy and West Virginia were scrappy as hell. Okay? Now, on the other side, yes, I had Texas, and then I had Georgia, and then I'd have gone with Oklahoma and then Bama. But Bama's already won enough. I have my theory. If you've won, especially in football like Bama and Georgia, you don't need to win a national championship in baseball. The Golden Moon Casino text line is 601-885-3776. 601-885-3776. Y'all crack me up on the text line. And so it's been a good morning for us, I think, so far. We're kind of hanging in there, right? Tom Luganville coming up next on the Out of Bounds show, ESPN 105.9 The Zone. Be careful out there with the rain. Somebody asked me, Bo, tell us what your morning routine is. It's varied over the years.
Right.
I've struggled with exactly what I want to do before I get to the studio. Just even try to get my mind right. But right now, and I've been doing this for a while, I get on the shake plate for 10 minutes. All right. So at my age, I feel like it's definitely not bad for me, but I think it's at least pretty good for me. So I do that for 10 minutes. And then unless it's storming,
right,
I ground for 5 or 7 minutes and I take a walk for 5 or 7 minutes. That's what I'm doing right now. And that's all I can commit to because I still need to get here at a decent time. But I found that also getting my body right, my mind, that's just as important. Plus, we've got all this prep. Y'all know. Y'all are on it with Claude and Gemini and everything. And then we've got these aggregate sites. So it's different than 10 years ago, 15 years ago, 20 years ago as far as prep because it's in front of me. And we can do a lot of it the day before, but you can also prep in 60 seconds if you do the right prompt. Right. So, yeah, that's what I'm doing right now. I like it. Shake plate's fun. I mean, they call it the power plate. I didn't get the super expensive one. Jermaine sent us a link on one. I think it works great. And it was just under $200. So again, I'm in sports marketing. We have a little bitty sports marketing firm. I can't do your $2,500 power play, although I'm probably going to get one eventually. But I wanted to commit to doing it for, 6 to 9 months, and I'm on a roll. And so we'll see where I am by, October. See what I want to do. But I like it. And you can grab weights while you're on it. I mean, it may sound totally stupid to y'all, and that's great. But that's I go straight on it. I get up, drink a cold glass of water with a little bit of an electrolyte, and I get on the shake plate. And I love it.
Mine's just like that.
That's exactly what Jay Meadows gets out of bed at 6:34 and gets here at he averages between 6:51 and 6:54.
Right.
But
that's
and 6:51 is early for him.
That's right. That's moving.
6:58 is late for him.
Yeah. Fair.
ESPN college football analyst Tom Luganville will join us on the Farm Bureau Insurance guest line. Bundle your auto and home and save with your local Farm Bureau insurance agent. Go with the home team, as Jake Mangum likes to tell us. We're powered by Farm Bureau Insurance.
Yeah, I got you. You got me? Cool. Yeah, no problem. I'm actually in Kentucky right now visiting my son because his car died and we're scrambling to get him into something else. So I had to make a quick trip up here. Yeah, the life of a parent of a college kid. Telling you, man. It's always fucking something. Okay, brother.
We are the Out of Bounds Show, ESPN 105.9 The Zone. Father's Day is brought to you by Elijah Craig Bourbon, the father of bourbon, Briarwood Wine and Spirits, among your local wine and spirit stores. They have Elijah Craig Small Batch and Rye and Toasted Barrel and 18-year and so on. So raise a toast to all the dads out there. Brought to you by Elijah Craig Bourbon. This is ESPN 105.9 The Zone. We've got our friend Tom Luginbill, national college football analyst with ESPN, and he joins us on the Farm Bureau Insurance guest line. Lugs, good morning. How you doing?
Good morning, Bo. I'm doing well, man.
All right, you got to tell me about chugging this beer a couple of weeks ago because, dude, you made my day. I don't remember when you dropped it on me on a Saturday or a Sunday, but you were calling a game. Just walk us through it. How much did you know it was happening? How much time? Because it was awesome, you and the crowd chugging a cold beer.
So there's an extended story to this. If you got a couple of minutes, I'll go ahead and tell you. Okay, so, you know, the DC Defenders in the UFL, they have this great fan base, and they all sit in the end zone. And in 2020, when the league came back as the XFL, these guys just started to decide to drink their beers and just start stacking the cups, and it started working his way up the stands. And then next thing you know, it became like this thing, right? The beer snake. And each week it was like, can we get it longer? Can we get it taller? And then, they started getting it up towards the top of the stadium, and then they started working it left so it wouldn't go over the top of the stands. And so, we've been encouraged over the last 5 years, now that it's moved into the UFL and all of this and that, to really lean into it, right? Incorporate it into the broadcast, do creative things with it. And so about week 3 or 4 this season, I went to our producer and I said, hey, listen, man, I said, there's only one thing that I can think of in the 5-6 years that I've been doing this that we haven't done yet with the beer snake. And that is, I need to go up there and chug a beer and add to the beer snake. Join the crowd.
Yeah.
Join the fray.
Yes.
And at first he was like, let me think about it. He goes, I know you're right, but let me just give it some thought. So anyway, fast forward about 6 weeks, and we're about 2 weeks away from being done with the regular season. And he goes, hey, listen, we've got DC last week of the regular season. All right. There's playoff implications. There's seeding. Let's do it. Let's go ahead and do it. Okay. So a couple of funny things. Number one, I did not realize that the cups are 24 ounces.
I thought the same thing once you started. I was like, that's a big beer.
Cups 24 ounces. Now, my on-site field producer, who's down there to make sure things just don't go wrong, and we're always making sure we got everything we need to do our job, he's tasked with going and buying the beer and giving it to me. Okay. Well, he doesn't buy a Bud Light or a Miller Lite or a Coors Light. It's an IPA.
Oh, no. Oh.
So he hands this to me, and I said, dude, this is dark. What is this? He goes, it's what they got on tap, their IPA. I said, bro. All All right. So now I'm about to go on live TV and I can't spit up. I can't have it coming through my nose.
Oh,
right.
no.
I was like, I got to pull this off. This is a major, point of pride for me here.
Right.
So I get up there and I start chugging it. Well, everybody's jumping up and down in the stands.
All that.
So everything's shaking. I don't know if you saw the early part of my hand shaking. Well, as my hand is shaking, I can see through the cup. I can see just the beer sloshing back and forth. And I'm trying to like hold it all in. And I'm saying to myself the whole time in my head, I'm going, breathe through your nose, dude. Breathe through your nose. Breathe through your nose. So anyway, we pull it off. It ends up being a great segment.
Yeah.
Fast forward 2 weeks. We're back in DC this last Sunday. The United Bowl Championship, DC versus Louisville. I'm expected to travel on Friday before the game. I've got a 12:30 p.m. flight. Okay. And long story short, on that Friday, my flight gets delayed like 7 times. I'm sitting in the airport for like 9 hours. It's like 8 o'clock at night on Friday. The game is the next day at 3 p.m. They finally cancel the flight. So they booked me on a 7 a.m. the next morning, which isn't ideal, but it's going to get me in there, with plenty of time. So I'm like, I don't want to drive all the way home. I'm just going to get a hotel room here locally in Greenville so I can get in and out quickly tomorrow morning. By the time I left the airport and got to the little hotel that I got, they canceled my 7 a.m. flight. So now I'm in a bit of a panic because I was like, how am I going to get here? So I call our travel department, which does an unbelievable job. And I said, listen, I got a major problem here. I need you to check Asheville airports, Charlotte, Columbia, South Carolina, Greenville, Atlanta, anything to get me into DC tomorrow morning. Nothing. Nothing. Okay. So I come to the realization I got to drive.
Oh, no. Oh, no.
So I drive in the middle of the night on Friday night, 8.5 hours. Now I'm in my personal car, which is a Jeep Wrangler with no top and no doors on.
Are you kidding me?
I'm dead serious. So I drive the whole way. I get to DC at about 10:30 in the morning. Our crew calls at 12:45 to get to the stadium. Now, we had plans of doing the snake again because for the championship game, they were doing these commemorative gold cups. They were calling it the Golden Beer Snake. So I get there. I arrive at the stadium. I haven't had an ounce of sleep. And our producer's in my ear, and everybody's scared to death to ask me, hey, dude, you're still going to down the beer, right? And so my producer finally gets the guts up to say, hey, Luke, if you don't want to do it, I get it. But if you're up for it, we'd love to do it. We want to get to the very top of the beer snake this time. Last time you were about midway through. And I was like, first of all, don't you know who you're dealing with here? Of course I'm going to do it.
Right.
So long story short, we get up to the beer snake goes all the way to the top of the stadium. So I'm at the very top before they have to turn it left and run it along the top edge of the stadium. And this time I did get a Miller Lite, a Bud Light, whatever, some form of a light beer. And we did it again. I contributed to the beer snake. It was a great exclamation point for the UFL season. We got it done. The game's over. I drive 3 hours, stop off at a hotel, try to get a decent night's sleep. I haven't slept in like 18 hours. And then drove the rest of the way home on Sunday. So that's my beer snake story for the season.
All right, this is great. Tom Luginbill, ESPN football analyst on the Out of Bounds show, driven by your next GMC Sierra truck at Fowler GMC. You talked about the IPA. And I didn't know it was an IPA, but I thought the same thing when you dropped that link. I thought, when you started drinking, I went, damn, that's a big beer. That's not a 16 ounce, no. 24 ounce. So at any point when you had to do it the first time, 24 ounces IPA, was there any point where you thought, I'm not going to make it?
I was about halfway through, and that was when I said, okay, I just need to slow it down just a little bit.
I noticed you did that.
Not take as many big gulps. And to be honest with you, what helped me was the fans stopped jumping up and down and just started yelling, chug, 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 cheering me on. So I didn't have all of the motion, which helped me control the flow of the beer. Once I had that, I knew I was home free. I knew I was in the clear.
I think if you hadn't have played quarterback, won a national title JUCO, and started at Georgia Tech, you would not have been able to call an audible halfway through the 24-ounce IPA, Luke's.
Well, listen, you got to be able to process quickly.
That's right.
You got to be able to discern what's happening in real time and make adjustments. And we were able to do it. And surprisingly, the second one this past Sunday was relatively simple. And it's so funny because all the guys on my crew, Joe Tessitore, Jordan Rogers, all of them were like, bro, I could not do that. There is no way I could have done that. I said, well, there's Cowboys and there's Shepherds, and you got to choose which one you want to be.
That's right. Tom Luginbill on the Out of Bounds show. All right, let's switch gears. I want to talk about Kiffin was on the Honey Badger podcast with Tyrann Mathieu.
Yeah.
And he kind of pulled a little bit of a Joe Namath, and he guaranteed a national championship. Now, he didn't this year, but he said, I don't know when, but we're going to win a national championship. Now, I think he is. What do you think about him? And again, he didn't timestamp it, Luke's, but what do you think about Kiffin saying that to the Honey Badger?
I to be honest with you, I can see it. I think there's validity in it because according to all reports and everything that we've all come to know and love about the LSU football program and the direction that college football is going right now, there won't be any excuses for a lack of ability to get it done, right? You don't have administrative restraints. You don't have restrictions NIL-wise. There's when you make a statement like that, I don't think he's wrong in saying it because everything's in place to have as good a shot as anybody in college football to actually be able to pull it off. So I see it. I mean, I totally see it. But I also think that it's so much harder now, even as a blue blood, even as a premier program, because of how all of the talent has been dispersed and the overall competitive playing field has been evened out to some degree, that it's harder to get there. You don't have the advantages you had 10 years ago. You don't get to be big bad LSU where there's this massive gap between you and everybody else. So is it reasonable? Yes. Is it expected? Yes. Is the path to do it as easy as it once was? Nowhere even close. Yeah.
So he also he keeps referencing Saban, telling him it's the best job in America. Does that, and I think I think you and I could debate this we could get a 12-pack of beer and
we
debate
could get 44 ounces and chug them.
Right, and debate it for hours, on your back patio in Charlotte.
Yeah.
It's okay, what's the best? Is it LSU? Is it Ohio State? Is it Georgia? You may even kick in when run right, Texas or Southern Cal. I don't know. But there may be one or two more. But I do, even though they don't have the population of Ohio and Georgia, I think you can make a strong argument that it's the best job in America.
Well, here a couple of things. If you just looked at this from a high school recruiting perspective, forget the transfer portal, forget name, image, and likeness. And I don't know how much time you spent, traveling throughout that state.
A lot.
But we know that there are premier players in that state that are highly publicized. That's going to be year in and year out. That's not changing. You do not have a Power 5 competitor within the state. It's not like you have an Auburn do an Alabama situation. Okay. But what they have that is distinctly unique, and Mississippi has this a little bit too, but there are off the beaten path, down a dirt road, in little nooks and crannies all throughout that state of elite level players that never get national recognition. So I'm going to give you an example. Do you remember Tre'Davious White?
Yes.
Tre'Davious White is literally from the middle of nowhere. Nick Saban and their Alabama staff didn't even know who he was. Right? So they didn't even really recruit him. And there are players like that all over that state. And if you're doing your due diligence and your homework and you are uncovering every rock, there's some advantages in recruiting to really good players in that state that are separate from the high profile ones that we know. And I think that's always been a unique advantage for LSU that probably gets glossed over a little bit.
Yeah. Tom Luginbill on the Out of Bounds show, ESPN 105.9 The Zone. One guy from this state that you're more than familiar with he didn't blow up till he got down to y'all, Chris Jones. Until he got to the Under Armour. I mean, Mullen and Jeff Collins had him. He's from like 25 minutes outside of Starkville in Houston, Mississippi, Luke's.
Yeah.
And so, like you said, you got to take a left and a right and a left and a right to get there, okay? And until he got down to y'all, and then it just went.
It actually, I can tell you when it started because me and my staff were there. It started at the Alabama-Mississippi All-Star game.
Okay.
And we had a couple of spots left late. And we're all sitting there watching this guy. And we're like, wait a minute. You know, everybody's somehow missed this, right?
Right.
And we immediately took him in the Under Armour game. And then you're right, that next week, because of all of the televised practices, the game itself, he absolutely blew up. But by this point, think about it. I mean, we weren't in a 2 signing day period, place yet.
That's right.
This was probably somewhere around January 2nd, 3rd, or 4th, which is usually when the game is played. So there was a whole month before that first Wednesday in February where like Mississippi State had to hold on for dear life because, I mean, it was just this massive rush to say, whoa. And everybody was tugging at him, man. I mean, it would have been different if there was 2 signing periods, right? And at that time, Mississippi State, let's just say if it was now, would have already signed him.
Right.
That's right. And so to be able to hold on like that was pretty impressive.
Tom Luginbill, national college football analyst with ESPN on the Out of Bounds show, brought to you by Ice Cold Michelob Ultra and Wings. That's a winning combination for Father's Day. You know, Mullen told me a story, Lugs, about that night going into signing day that I can actually share. He was up in Oklahoma City with Jonathan Banks, receiving the Thorpe Award. And Banks is another one of those guys that was from a 1A Mississippi school. He was like a 2-star, ended up being a hell of a football player. And Dan said speaking of getting delayed in weather, they kept getting delayed to fly back into Tupelo. To fly back into Starkville. Instead, they had to fly into Tupelo. And so he said, I had no communication. Freeze and Saban are still trying to flip Chris Jones. And he said, so we get on the plane, Megan and Jonathan Banks and I. And he said that was at a time where you don't have as much, even on a private plane, cell service and stuff.
Yeah.
And he said, so I'm thinking, blank, what's going to happen from Oklahoma City to Tupelo or Starkville? Yeah. He said he gets down on the ground. It's total chaos going into signing day. And that's the way you lived that as head of recruiting for ESPN for like 15 signing days or so, because that's back when it was like a February 2nd, 3rd, or 4th signing day.
Right. And what everybody was doing at that time is everybody was trying to get their in-home visits on that last weekend.
That's right.
To make that last impression, to hopefully flip a guy. And oftentimes it works because see, normally when you take your visits, and I'm saying maybe a little bit more in the old days here than it is now, but you need what I call the 48-hour decompression period after that. Because every visit's the greatest visit. Every place is your favorite place. You're like, that's where I want to go, this and that. Well, when that happens to you on the last weekend going into that first Wednesday in February, you don't have the decompression period. So you can be heavily influenced into, if you have that last visit or that last in-home visit right before Wednesday, you can fall victim to it. That happened to Cyrus Quandro. Remember Cyrus Quandro, the offensive lineman at Alabama? And I'll never forget. He's on our air on signing day. He's making his announcement. He goes on air. He announces for Auburn. He walks off, and I'll never forget because the coach later on told me what happened maybe a day or so later, but he ends up switching to Alabama by the end of the day because he didn't sign his papers. But he walks off of the podium, and he goes to his head coach and goes, I made a mistake. I don't want to go to Auburn. I want to go to Alabama. But he had his last visit and his last in-home at Auburn that weekend previous to Wednesday. So again, no decompression period. You get heavily influenced by that. So yeah, it's wild and it's crazy. It's different now, but yeah, those moments were very, very real.
Tom Luginbill on ESPN 105.9 The Zone. Was that the craziest story as far as a recruit on signing day with y'all on the hat party or whatever, saying one team and going with another one?
it was up there. The one story that always sticks with me, and I find it funny because it was humorous and we chronicled it the whole day. But do you remember running back Alex Collins that went to Arkansas?
Yes.
Okay. I don't know if you remember, but this was still the time of the fax machine, right? He announces on national television that he's going to Arkansas. All right. His mom takes the letter of intent, gets in her car and takes off, goes driving down the freeway, steals it, won't because she don't want him to go to Arkansas. And so then they had to chase her down and get the thing back so that the kid could actually turn it in.
Unbelievable. Unbelievable. Did you hear the Adrian Peterson, Ed Ogeron story where Coach O talked about they went to see his dad in prison? Mm-hmm. Well, Adrian said, Coach, I can't go to Southern Cal unless my dad can watch me play.
Yeah.
And Coach Stoops has already been here and they figured out how he can watch Oklahoma games. Yeah. And Eddie-O, being Eddie-O, trying to find any way, and I admire him for this, goes back to Southern Cal, meets with the mayor and other dignitaries, trying to get Adrian Peterson's dad, Luke's, transferred out to the LA metro area penitentiary. Have you ever heard that story?
I think I have heard variations of that story, and they're not surprising.
Yeah. I just
especially
thought
with the coach involved.
Yeah. And then they asked him, they were like, what did you think you were going to make it happen? And he was like, nah, once I met with however many people, I knew we couldn't get it done. But, all right, real quick, back to Lane. I want to ask you, Sam Levitt, give me 2 minutes. No, we got less than that. Give me a minute and a half on Sam Levitt with LSU talent and a top 5 or top 10 offensive coordinator calling the plays like Kiffin.
See, I don't have really any reservations or concern about what the performance level of Sam Levitt's going to be. My concerns revolve around health. Right. He's got to stay healthy. And he's a guy he's got a little Jackson Dart in it when it comes to that kind of piss and vinegar, and he's got a fire in his belly. And so he's not a guy that's going to slide, right? He's a guy that's going to lower the shoulder, and he's going to fight for the extra yard. And he's going to scrap and scrape to extend a play. I think those are all admirable traits, and I love to see the competitive temperament side of that. But I think he's also got to be very cautious with how he utilizes his body, because he's going to be a major key factor just because the experience level that he brings. But just so athletic. He can be streaky a little bit because he's a little bit of a riverboat gambler. And again, those are things that you like. And it's that delicate balance, right? Of, we got to make sure we protect the football and we make good decisions, but I don't want to coach out of him his innate traits that make him who he is, right? It's kind of like trying to tame Johnny Manziel.
Right.
Like, you want him to make smart plays, but you don't want him to play hesitantly because now he's not Johnny Manziel.
Right.
And that's going to be the fine line with Lane Kiffin and Sam Levitt of balancing that out.
Tom Luginbill, thank you for hanging out with us today. Happy Father's Day, my friend.
Hey, happy Father's Day to you too, man. Have a good one.
Tom Luginbill on the Out of Bounds Show, ESPN 105.9 The Zone, brought to you by award-winning Elijah Craig Bourbon. And that is the father of bourbon. Here's to an Elijah Craig old-fashioned at Taste Italian Kitchen in the Renaissance this weekend. Good morning. Welcome in. 105.9 The Zone, ESPN. Check out our YouTube channel. Out of Bounds Sports. Make us your office TV show. Many of you have. OOB Nation, we need you, baby. Make us your office TV show. Go to YouTube. Check out our channel, Out of Bounds Sports. We are the Out of Bounds Show, and we're driven by your next spray-in bedliners and lift kits from Rick's Pro Truck. RPT, baby. Trucks. Live here.
WRKS Pickens Jackson.
All systems go.
Live from the Whiskey 61 Lounge inside the Bank Plus studio.
Is now awarded.
Live in the studio. It's the Out of Bounds Show with Bo Bounds. Streaming live worldwide on the Out of Bounds radio app. And on your radio at ESPN 105.9.
All set? Let's go.
The Zone.
Maybe your fan base would rather lose to Alabama.
No, they're out. Good morning. Welcome into the Out of Bounds Show, ESPN 105.9 The Zone. Thanks to Drew and Clinton, who won, I think, the Elijah Craig. I should have put in more stuff for him. The Elijah Craig Father's Day prize pack. He just brought us an insane amount of deer meat and deer sausage and deer tamales. I love this guy. He's in the top 1% of our P1s. And we got a great group of P1s that support us and make this thing go. Thank you, Drew. We appreciate it. You rock. Gonna have to hook you up with something else. Dang.
What else did you expect from a Clintonian?
You know, it must be the Clinton magic because you grew up there.
That's why, I did bless the city on my way up. So.
You did. ESPN 105.9 The Zone. Bo Bounds, that's Jackson Meadows. Straight Funk from Clinton. Drew's from Clinton. He won the Elijah Craig Father's Day prize pack. And he hooks us up with deer meat, deer sausage, and deer tamales. That is a Whiskey 61 feast. That's what you're looking at right there. We're going to put it in a cooler during the break. And it's a good thing our awesome sponsors, partners, drop off coolers for us. And Beagle Bagel in Madison has ice.
Right.
Bam. Beautiful. Beautiful, beautiful. The show is brought to you by Ice Cold Bud Light and Wings. That's a winning combination for Father's Day. Throw some wings on the grill. Yeah. When's Joseph Stodgel with Martin's Market and Martin's in Livingston going to bring us wings again?
Man, he's globe-trotting.
You know, he is globe-trotting.
That's what he does.
And, you know, I think he's sandbagging on us. He's holding back. So we need some wings in studio, and then we'll pair it with some ice-cold beer.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. He went out yeah. He made the trek.
Yeah. Oh, the trek. What?
To Omaha.
Oh, yeah. He goes everywhere.
He goes everywhere.
Yeah. That guy's a traveling man. So the show is brought to you by, well, let's say the fried catfish po' boy, the wings, and the pork rind nachos at Martin's in Livingston. Martin's Market now serving amazing cuts of steaks. I mean, I say you go in and buy them to put them on your grill or whatever.
Right.
So shout out. Hey, you can hit us up on the Dancing Rabbit Golf text line 601-885-3776. Tom Luganbill's story. I did not know it was an IPA.
Oh, my.
Tom Luganbill's story. Here it is. So you can go on Twitter and find it. And I tell you what I'll do after the show. I'll tag it, quote tweet it, and drop our interview with him so that you'll see the video of him drinking the beer in the DC stadium at the UFL game with the Beer Snake crew, which is fun. I mean, these people are getting into it. They're having fun. They've got this huge section that loves to have a great time, and people love football, whatever time of year. But I didn't realize 24, usually if you want to set that thing up, you're like, hey, I'll do a 16 ounce on camera. Luganbill is drilling a 24-ounce IPA on ESPN. Whoa. That and hey, he gets it done. He comes through in the clutch.
Does.
Right? You got to leave it all on the field. But that's clutch. That's why he was national JUCO starting quarterback champ and started at Georgia Tech. He was able to just adjust, pivot, improvise, and make it happen.
Didn't have a choice.
Didn't have a choice. Tom Luginbill drilled a 24-ounce IPA on national TV at the UFL game in D.C. When they did it again for the championship game, they got him a light beer.
Yeah, thank the Lord. Surely that was made clear that, hey, no IPAs.
No IPA, brother.
Well, what are you doing chugging that thing?
Wow.
That's tough.
Yeah. I mean, I can drink an IPA.
Yeah, that's it.
But, I mean, I sip it.
Yeah.
But 24 ounce.
Throwing it home.
And you're on national TV, and they're shaking you and jumping around you. It's like you're in a student section.
Yeah.
I mean, it's like these people are having fun, as they should. And I never thought to tell Wilkes while he's been in Washington, D.C., to go to the UFL game.
Oh, yeah.
Probably could have gotten him passes and
probably
through Lugs and everything else. Can you believe Lugs had to drive from Greenville, South Carolina to Washington, D.C. in the night in a Wrangler with no top and no windows or doors? What? So he couldn't get out of any airport. He started then trying to find Greenville, Atlanta, Columbia, Charlotte, Asheville. Holy smokes.
Man.
How about that?
You got to find the top.
And, I mean, he books it. So then he drives to Washington, D.C., gets there. This is the night. You know, it's Friday night, and his
call time
flight's canceled. Yeah. Then he gets a 7 a.m. It's canceled.
Oh, my God.
Then he's trying to get booked somewhere, can't, and realizes he has to drive. And then he ends up getting there at 10:30 in the morning for, I think he said, a 3 o'clock kickoff.
Yeah, they had to be there at 12:45.
Okay.
So he had 2 hours.
Okay.
To
get ready.
Yeah, to do whatever you're supposed to do in 2 hours.
And he this time he drank the beer in the beer snake section at the UFL game in D.C., but it was a light beer.
Light beer.
Yeah, which is what you want if you've got to do that and cameras are on you. The last thing you want to do is have some kind of gag reflex.
Dude,
can't do it because you know how dudes are. Dudes love to give guys, other dudes, a hard time.
Oh, you never live that down.
And so if for some reason it didn't go right,
yeah, you're screwed.
But he was able to pull it off both times, even with the 24-ounce IPA. To me, that's a clutch moment.
No.
Possibly the clutchest moment of the summer, sports-wise.
It's high.
I mean, I think it even trumps FIFA World Cup, College World Series, and whatever's going to happen this weekend at Shinnecock with the U.S. Open.
Yeah, they ain't chugging beers.
They should be.
They should be.
I mean, Scotty Scheffler,
required.
John Rahm. Now, does John Rahm look like somebody who can chug a beer?
That dude does. He does.
He looks like a beer.
Eats a beer, yeah.
Yeah, he looks like he could eat a beer and a whole piece of pizza.
Yeah.
I mean, a whole pizza.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? John Rahm looks like he played left guard at Mississippi Gulf Coast Community College and play
big boy.
And played half the season with the torn MCL.
No doubt.
That's what he looks like.
He's so good.
Or a torn labrum. He was like, nah, coach, I'm not going out. This is it.
Yep.
I'm riding with this team.
You got to leave it on the line.
Okay? I can't feel my shoulder, but, you know, if we've got to pull on 2nd and 3, then I'm there. I will meet the linebacker in the hole. Right?
2. Somebody's got to meet him there.
Right. I mean, that's the kind of stuff that you would sacrifice for your team.
Yeah, Mount Salus.
That's right. Stella Artois, caller line 601-707-3750.
look at that. Every single one of those is just coated perfectly. It looks so fresh. Wow.
Hey, Out of Bounds, ESPN 105.9 The Zone. Out of Bounds, ESPN 105.9 The Zone. Good morning. Welcome in. We're powered by Pearl River Resort, ESPN 105.9 The Zone, live in the Bank Plus studio. And happy Father's Day to all of you out there. You've got a big weekend of sports because we've got the U.S. Open at Shinnecock, which is going to be fun. FIFA World Cup soccer with the United States tomorrow afternoon. And then you got your College World Series. And who are you pulling for? Or do you care? Have you now checked out? And are you all, SEC football or NFL? Which I get too. But good weekend of sports for sure. Is this Graham McDowell is 2 under? And I don't know any of these other guys so far. But I'm expecting I think we'll have a wild U.S. Open. And it's in New York at Shinnecock, Southampton, New York. And, Shinnecock is legendary. And we'll see what Scheffler and Rahm and all the guys do. We fully expect John Rahm to have a cold beer or two over the weekend. And props to Tom Luganbill for being able to drink a 24-ounce IPA while people are jumping up and down around you on live TV, and you were thinking you were going to get a Bud Light or a Michelob Ultra. And again, sipping on an IPA is great. Chugging an IPA on live TV that's 24 ounces with people jumping around you, that's where the difficulty index goes from 1 or 2 with the Michelob Ultra to a 10, right?
Fast.
Yeah.
I don't know what's worse, the jumping or seeing the complete amber. It's not light. It's not gold.
Yeah.
It's just amber.
Yeah.
I would have hated that. That'd be the worst thing.
Ooh. Now, like a Key City,
that's different.
Mississippi Queen. They've got great IPAs.
Sure.
But a Mississippi Queen from Key City, yes, more than doable.
Yeah, it's got a high drillable rating.
Right. But, dude, you get into an IPA live on TV with people jumping around you, and it's not 16 ounces, it's 24.
Very low.
We're talking about a different deal. It's National Splurge Day.
Oh, nice.
Anything that you've, in the last few years, that you've splurged on besides sports betting?
Yeah, life.
Okay.
Everything.
Okay.
Yeah, man. Look, spend it.
Okay.
You get it back.
That's right.
You'll figure it out. Spend it.
Now, it's International Sushi Day and National Fishing Day. You've been fishing
Go with this.
here a good bit.
Yep.
And it's something you can actually do, which I'm impressed.
I am too. Well,
that you'll sit there
sit there
and fish.
I'll do it all day. It's the only thing I'll sit there and do all day.
Okay. That's impressive.
Yeah.
I guess there's just enough going on.
That's right. Now I can do other things. I can pay attention to other things and, and still be cast.
Well, you can be one with nature.
Right.
Okay.
Which I feel.
You can ground if you're not in a boat.
That's right. But it's better to ground in a boat, right? If you just stick your feet in the water.
You could do that.
Yeah.
I think. I know moving water, you're right, is grounding.
Yeah, that's right. Still water.
Well, I don't know. It depends on where you are.
I'll have to get Jermaine on.
Yeah, we'll see. Is a lake count? I hope it does because we float all the time. But sushi. Do you like sushi?
Love it.
Okay. Do you like
I'm not
sushi?
No.
Do you like raw? Like
no.
I'll take a bite of tuna or salmon or something like that.
I'm not here for that.
Okay.
I'm not getting.
So that's still the Clinton.
Oh, I mean, when you say sushi, it should have.
You're talking about You're talking about a roll.
Yeah, put me an asterisk beside that.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right.
And then I'm in.
Okay.
Yeah, if they can fry it.
Nah, not really. No, thank you. I mean, I want it. I want the raw sushi, man. When I know I reference it all the time, but And the one in D.C. that we went to a couple weeks ago was fabulous, and it was way high. It was really not quality.
What do they roll their sushi better than others?
Yeah.
Really?
Yeah.
So like you can tell a different, like a quality roll?
Like Sushi Samba in Vegas.
Like it's like, I'm talking about the actual roll.
Whole nother level.
Who's rolling them things up?
Well, like, I guess it's the equivalent of Al Pacino as an actor.
Nice. Yeah. Oh, you got to be one heck of a roller.
Yeah. Look,
Dang.
man, these cats in the Venetian and Sushi Samba, they're not messing around.
This place is swanky.
It's cool.
It's really cool.
Blake and I found it. Well, many other people found it. But we went while we were out there for the NFL draft, and then I went again in October. It kind of ruins me, though, because it's so good, I struggle to get sushi in other areas. But isn't that a cool spot?
It's very cool.
Yeah.
It just looks
it's like a part. I mean, when we were there in October, I assume this is because it was the sports betting conference. It was packed at lunch. So it had a vibe of like a big, even in, Vegas, it doesn't matter what time of day, but this was like 12:30 or 1 o'clock. The place was packed, and they have beautiful people working in there. Plus there's beautiful people in Vegas.
Right.
So you've got a cool vibe, super high quality sushi. We were having all kinds of fun drinks. It was great. Plus their bar, we didn't sit there. We had a table because we had this dude that was a VIP host for the Win, and then some other guys. But their bar is awesome too. It's cool.
Man, yeah, this place looks like a party.
It's a great people watching place. And if you sit at the bar, you can see the kind of outside, whatever walking area of the Venetian and the whatever the other thing is that's connected to it.
Wagyu dumplings.
They're amazing. That's what I sent to Matt. Look, the Wagyu dumplings.
That's all you need.
Sushi.
I would get so many of
All right, here we go. No, hold on.
That's good.
Yeah, look, I've got Wagyu sliders, Wagyu Asian dumplings,
Nice.
lobster roll, and then they do the thing where they bring out
The little crabs.
no,
Okay.
I can't remember what it's called. Where it's cooking on the little plank on the table.
Not hibachi.
No, it's not your
Yeah, come on.
hibachi. Good hell.
Dude. What about sawagani? That had the Japanese river crabs.
I didn't know it when you said it, but it sounds like something I would be open to trying.
No way. That looks gross.
No?
I don't know. I like
I'll
soft-shell
eat
crab.
anything. Like if I know I'm in a quality restaurant like
Sure.
Sushi Samba,
Yeah.
I'll try anything.
I mean, if I like, we like soft shell crab, there can't be that much of a difference.
Okay.
It can't be.
By the way, soft shell crab is great.
Oh, I love it. Yeah.
Flash fried soft shell crab here or down in South Louisiana is fabulous. When done, I mean, like, yes, my aunt could do it
Light.
when she owned the 2 restaurants in New Orleans. I mean, look, I remember seeing that in the 80s thinking, I'm down with this. Yeah. And now restaurants, like Kessler are offering it as an appetizer 1 or an entree if you get 2. And it's banging, man. Drizzled with just a little bit of that sauce. Holy Mary Olzab. We are the Out of Bounds Show. We're brought to you by Madison Ridgeland Academy. Yes, they'll be back on Friday Night Lights. Powered by Madison Ridgeland Academy Football. We'll be back in a second. Wow. Good morning. Welcome into the Out of Bounds Show, ESPN 105.9 The Zone. Brought to you by the Mississippi State University College of Business, led by Dean Scott Graw, who has taken his competitive drive and temperament from being a D1 athlete at Iowa State playing baseball and is driving the College of Business at Mississippi State University to new heights. He's told some great stories about playing baseball at Iowa State in the snow, about being recruited by Ron Polk, and then he ends up as the dean of the College of Business at Mississippi State University. If you'd like to get involved, he is one that is out in the office visiting with entrepreneurs, business owners, executives, or just people that have done well, whatever, industry and so on, that are a part of the College of Business at Mississippi State University. You can go to business.msstate.edu. business.msstate.edu. Contact Scott Graw. He will call you. They want you to be involved as a successful alum. They need your help. It's a call to action, and they're doing great things. He spent over 10 years in the private sector with Target and Polaris. That's what I want as my dean of the College of Business, somebody who's been in the private sector and someone who is on the road connecting alums back to the students and the campus. Plus, they're taking the students all around the country to compete. They won out on the West Coast. They won up in the Northeast this year, too. Now, his nephew is going to Mississippi State. This is cool. He texted me yesterday. Figure he had this close to the vest for a while. I had no idea. His nephew is headed to Mississippi State. Nolan Graw, Scott Graw, dean of the College of Business, corner infielder at South Dakota State. He started 53 of 55 games and hit well, slugging percentage. Let's see what we got. 527 slugging percentage.
Nice.
And drove in 46 runs, scored 45 times.
Wow.
And he walked a good bit too. And
a lot of baseball.
Yeah. So there we go. They played in the Nebraska regional where Ole Miss was,
That's right,
and Arizona State and so on. So Nolan Graw is Scott Graw's nephew, and he is joining the Brian O'Connor Mississippi State Diamond Dogs. He's a native of Cedar Rapids, Iowa. All right. 6'3", 200 pounds. There we go.
Yeah.
All right. That's kind of cool. 105.9 The Zone ESPN show is brought to you by Mississippi State University College of Business. Check out everything they're doing. Business.msstate.edu. Business.msstate.edu. Do we want to go with Bartu? Okay. So Bartu stopped by after the show, and he was back. His backyard looks like a jungle in a good way. I mean, it's beautiful. He lives 30, 45 minutes outside of Oregon. That's where he talks to himself and everything. And, he's got 2,800 spreadsheets on every coach in the 2000s that's coached at the NFL level and the college football level. And we asked him about NFL offensive coordinators this century. And we were talking about Andy Reid, who you're familiar with, but someone else that you're really familiar with, and that would be Sean Payton. This is what Bartu had to say about grading the absolute best offensive coordinators in the NFL this century. All right, Bartu, you hit me up with your Patreon account, and let's see what we're doing here. So you mentioned all the SEC OCs, interactive play calling sheet. Do we want to go there?
Oh yeah. So what I am, I did it all for the NFL. So I have a separate website that is basically NFL AI, and I feed it all the data, and I had it break down all the situational football predictive behaviors in the NFL by offensive coordinator. So for example, like you got a lot of Cowboy fans, right?
Yeah.
Because of Dak,
Sure.
right? Got a lot of Cowboy fans. So I fed all of Brian Schottenheimer's play calls into the system, not just for 2025, because he was the play caller last year for Dallas, but also all of his play calls at Seattle and everywhere that he's been the play caller. And then it spits out in situational football, here's his run pass ratio. 4th and 1, 4th and 2, 4th and 3, 4th and 4, 1st and goal, 2nd and goal, all these situational things. And then it categorizes them in terms of likelihood, kind of like a poly market. It's telling you the likelihood of his career to run or pass. And so basically it's an interactive cheat sheet where you can sit here and go, okay, they're on the road, they're down, it's 3rd and 1. Oh man, he's going to rush this 98% of the time. Oh, and so it's kind of an interactive cheat sheet to try to figure out what's coming before it even happens. And now I'm working on that for college football. So over the next couple of weeks on my Patreon account, I'm going to start uploading all the play calling behavior of the play callers in college football. So you can sit there and see, what is Levy's play calling behavior? What is John David Baker's play calling behavior? What is Steve Sarkisian's play calling behavior? So you can watch these games with your Matrix cheat sheet, and I think it'd be cool if we were at Davis Wade and betting on what the next play is going to be.
That's what's going to happen sooner